prices probably aren't going to go up for several, well, maybe not several years, but I would say 3 years. We're into this until probably 2029 for a bunch of reasons that I'm going to highlight in this video. I cannot wait until I get to hop on this channel and share some positive news for you guys. Unfortunately, everything that's happening in the market, which is my goal to keep you updated with the market, everything that's happening right now is negative. So Steve Saretsky posted this chart. Home sellers in Canada are canceling listings at a rapid pace as they fail to get their prices. Many will retest the market in the months ahead. So this is listing cancellations. These are homes that are listed on the market that the sellers are deciding to cancel the listing. Now, some of those may never come back on the market for years to come, but a large majority of them are probably going to try to sell in the fall or possibly next spring, or they're going to wait until the prices go up a little bit before they relist and sell to hopefully get a higher price. And as you can see, listings have been rocketing. Like basically seems to be, the beginning of 2022, listings just rocketed and they just seem to be trending higher and higher and higher. Now, my thoughts on this, and this is right here, in my opinion, the exact reason why prices probably won't go up for a while, is that everybody likes to talk about the pent-up buyer demand. That's all you seem to hear about is the pent-up buyer demand, but there's another side to that coin. And the side to that coin is the pent-up seller demand. A market starts its recovery once it runs out of sellers. Once there are no more people willing to sell that product at whatever the market price is, the amount of buyers will soon, be more. There's probably a better word for that. There will be more buyers than sellers. That's when the price recovery starts. And the problem with our market right now is there are so many sellers and so many people who are wanting to sell. Even if the prices went up a little bit, there would be a new flood of listings, just like how the prices come down and more buyers enter back into the market. If the price goes up, you'll have less buyers and more sellers who want to sell. I was at lunch with a couple colleagues today, and there was 4 of us. Out of the 4 of us, 2 of my colleagues had purchased pre-sale condos in the last year and a half. And they both said, hopefully by the time this completes, it'll be break even. Because the second it's break even, I'm going to sell it. And I said, well, wait a minute. There's 2 of you here. And out of the 2 of you that bought pre-sales, 100% of you both just said the second it's break even, you're going to sell your condo, right? So how many more people out there like you are there? The second the prices go up, is there going to be a whole new wave of sell pressure at those prices to push them back down? And I think the answer to that question is yes, because you have a lot of people that are very underwater on their home purchases with much higher mortgage rates and much lower rents than they thought they were going to get, right? And when those people sell those condos and somebody like an end user buys it on 20% down at the current market price, at the current interest rates, that person is not expecting to sell that condo until there is a massive gain on it, right? Until there's a 20% gain on it, then it's worth it to pay all the fees to sell it to then move up to the next product, right? So that is happening as I'm shooting this video right now. As I'm recording this, every day there is an underwater unit out there being purchased by somebody using 20% down with the current interest rates who's already expecting to hold that unit for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Now, this is not to scare anybody because I'm not saying the market's going to collapse, right? I myself have sold a lot of pre-sale condos and I've sold condos to many people watching this channel, right? But what I'm saying is that your outlook isn't going to be a 1, 2, 3 year outlook, which you shouldn't be getting into real estate with anyways. It should be a, more ideally 7 to 10 year outlook. I would say minimum 5 years, but 7 to 10 years, right? And right now, the buyer pool, well, I guess over the last couple of years, the buyer pool has changed from a short-term mindset purchaser to a long-term mindset purchaser. So the market is in the process of basically flushing out all of that bad capital, all the underwater purchasers, and they're being replaced with long-term buyers. But as you can see via this chart that Steve Saretsky has here, it looks like that's going to take a long time because in addition to just stuff that's on the market that's getting canceled and likely going to be relisted later on, again, we have record high housing completions this year. We have record high housing completions next year, so on and so forth. I think I've said this 10,000 times, but we have a lot more supply coming with a lot more underwater purchasers who are going to want to get out the second prices even try to go up. And I mean, I'd say this is a great example of what I'm talking about from Shazzy here, this Shazzy goalie character. Mortgage originations just surged 27%. Well, why would mortgage originations be surging right now? The second biggest June on record, but this isn't coincidence. It is the pandemic pre-con boom finally coming due. Tens of billions in debt are being locked in, not because buyers feel safe, but because they have no choice. The bill for Canadian housing mania is only beginning to arrive. And I think that's probably the most likely rationale for why. You know, a lot of it was probably sales in Toronto did increase like 10.9% year over year. So some of that is more buyers, but a lot of it too is probably a lot of these pre-constructions completing all relatively around the same time. People taking out those mortgages. And like I said, all these buyers are going to be underwater and are going to want to sell as soon as they possibly can. So that being the case, right, for purchasers out there right now, my expectation would be that of a very long one, right? If I'm buying a place, it's because I want to own real estate. I want to enjoy it. I want to live there and I want to plan to own it for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, right? I would say minimum 7, bare minimum 5, but more likely 7 to 10 years. If you are an investor, right? And like, this is the way I look at it, right? If you buy a condo and your outlook on that condo is, I'm just going to put this in the portfolio and let the tenant pay off the mortgage, you don't really care what's going to happen over the next 3 years, the next 2 years, the next 4 years, whatever it is. Because you know in 10, 15 years, inflation's going to do its thing. The condo's going to be worth more. Tenant's going to pay off a huge chunk of that mortgage. You're going to be cash flowing. Rents have gone up. And you're going to have an asset that pays you money every single month. So when I shoot these negative videos, I'm not trying to deter anybody from buying. I still think there is a lot of use cases for people buying real estate. I bought real estate myself. I sell real estate to people who buy it every single month. And I think it's still an amazing thing. I just think that if you're buying it, expecting the price to go up in the next 2 or 3 years, I think you're going to be very, very disappointed. Well, unless you're buying a detached, I could actually see detached being slightly higher in the next 3 years, but a condo, maybe even a townhome could possibly, but condos, I'm very confident that you're not going to see any appreciation on these in the next 3 years. You know, even in 2029, you might be flat in 2020 because you have to remember maybe the prices go a little bit lower and then they kind of start coming back up. And then by 2029, maybe you're break even. Again, this is all just, I have no idea what's going to happen, but just giving you an example. If you're buying real estate because you want to enjoy it, you want to live in it, decent time to buy. If you're buying real estate with a very long-term outlook, decent time to buy. If you're buying real estate expecting to make money in the next 3 years, I don't think it's a good time to buy. And reason being is that I believe we have a ton of pent-up selling pressure, pent-up seller demand in the pipeline for the next couple years at least. But if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe. If you want to chat with me about buying or selling real estate in the Fraser Valley, there's a link down in the description. Otherwise, I'm that Agent Kelly. I'm making moves to move you. Peace.